bad vibe. Face the world with your full chest. Because this life, forget, you and me, now we go run out.
Bobby, you still keep old naira inside your mattress. Go deposit them for your mama wallet before January 31st, 2023. Dial *671# to open a mama wallet.
Welcome to the Ask Doctor segment, and on this segment, our doctor answer questions sent in by viewers during the week and explain things on the question. So we'll be right back after the short break.
Welcome back. This is the Ask Doctor segment of the program, and my name is Dr. Margaret. I give responses to the questions you sent to us during the week. And my very first question for this week says, hello doctor, is it possible that even when infection like staph is out of the system, the symptoms still persist? Well, it depends. Probably if you have had that infection for a very long time, probably like 5 years upwards, it's possible because you have been experiencing for a long time. Automatically, if you have gone for a test and it's no longer in your body system, it's possible that you might still be experiencing some certain symptoms that you've been experiencing before. But after a while, since it's no longer in your blood stream or your body system, then the old symptoms will stop and then disappear. Yeah, I think it's very possible with the infection. Because staph infection is a very, very stubborn type of infection. So basically, and if you have this, I would know that once you know that you have staph infection, don't just keep quiet. See a doctor that will prescribe the best medication for you to take and take care of it once and for all. And in taking care of it, you have to make sure you are going to a laboratory to run a confirmation test once your doctor is done with the treatment with you to be sure that you no longer have it. You don't just assume that after taking medication, then I should be fine. No, it's fine for you to, the same way you have gone to find out that you have infection, it's the same way for you to also go back to confirm that you don't have this staph again. Alright, thank you. My next question says, good day, Dr. Margaret. Please, I need your help. I have a daughter who is 6 years old. I have tried to get pregnant again, but to no avail. During my ovulation days, if I meet with my husband, I will see blood. I have done several tests, but there is no problem. The doctor said I should come with my husband, but he refuses going, saying nothing is wrong with him. Please, ma'am, what should I do? Now, your doctor has confirmed that you are fine. You are okay. Now, for them to check your husband is refusing. Then you go to God in prayer. Because you can't carry him. You cannot force him. You know, men have ego. So, because of that, the only way to convince your husband to follow you down to see a doctor is first and foremost, take the matter to God in prayer. I'm sorry that this has to come in, but take the matter to God in prayer, and then with soft and polite attitude. A lot of women, we don't know how to talk. We don't know how to address our husbands. So at the end of the day, I don't know, I'm not saying that you do that, but to you to get something from me, I suggest that with a polite, soft attitude, approach your husband. Definitely. He will follow you. He will follow you. You understand me? But the first thing I would advise is take the matter to God in prayer, then approach your husband in a subtle manner, polite manner, simple manner, and then you see what happens. Okay? It's going to work for you in Jesus' name. Alright, my next question says, hello doctor, please, my husband has candidiasis infection, which usually we occur after treatment. Please, how can we treat it permanently? Like I said earlier on in this previous question, I said once you have an infection and the doctor has told you you are taking this for this number of period, it is better that once you are done with the medication, you can wait for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks after, go back to the laboratory and run a confirmation test. A lot of us, once we are done with the medication and probably maybe the symptom, the 1 or 2 symptoms that we were having before has just popped, we don't experience it again. We just, in fact, some people don't even complete their using those treatments. They just assume, I'm okay, I'm fine, and that's all. No, it's not. It shouldn't be. It's fine that we should still go back to the laboratory to be sure and confirm that, okay, it has been cleared, no more growth. So now for this question, I would suggest that let him still take the medication, but this time around, while he's done with the treatment, and not just him, you and him together, both of you, because you're going to be you're active, sexually active. So if wife has an infection and husband is not taking care of the infection together with wife, it's a waste of time. Or if the husband has and the wife is not taking the treatment, it's a waste of time, because you are sexually active. Even if you abstain, how long are you going to abstain for together? This is the talking of husband and wife. So it's normally advisable that if one person has it, normally both have it. But in some cases where just one person's results will be showing growth of a particular infection, you know, we should be placed on the treatment. When you are put on the treatment, when you are done with your treatment according to your doctor will definitely advise you that go back for a confirmation test, and you make sure you go back so that it just keeps reoccurring. Thank you. My next question says, doctor, please, can someone who has ectopic pregnancy still get pregnant again? Oh yes, depending, because when we talk of ectopic pregnancy means the woman was pregnant, but unfortunately the pregnancy was growing in the tube. And if that happens, what the first thing that they're going to do is to have surgery and condemn one of that particular tube first. But if that woman has a second tube that is functional, of course she can still have as many children as one tube. You see a lot of women that have all their children is just one tube. So, but the most important thing is that if one of the tubes is being condemned because of ectopic pregnancy, the other tube should be functional to be able to carry pregnancy. I wish you all the best in Jesus' name. My next question says, good day, ma'am. Please, can an infection that has stayed for 9 years be treated? You know, I was saying this earlier on. I said, if infection of 9 years, imagine the kind of symptoms this particular person will be going through. And once the person takes medication, it might take a longer period for about maybe a period of time for it to be cleared, but it's going to be cleared. But the symptoms will not be cleared immediately, same as the medication is going to be cleared in the body system. What are you waiting for? What are you looking at 9 years? That's pretty very long. And imagine the lot of damage that it might have caused to this particular person's body system. We don't know whether it's a man or a woman, or whether you're a man or a woman, please, let's take our health is wealth. Health is wealth. Whatever we notice now, but we don't have to wait for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years until we now have to attend to it. Alright, this is well. My next question says, hello doctor, I just want to know if a man with one testis still produce a child. Oh yes. When you say a man with one testis, yeah, just like saying a woman with one tube, yeah, it's very, very possible. But you know, that has to be monitored, man has to be monitored, he has to take some booster that will really help him to enhance him to be able to have enough semen that will be able to pregnant a wife. Alright, that's how much you can take on today's segment of Ask Your Doctor. Keep these questions rolling. I want to say a very big thank you for staying tuned, and the program continues shortly.
My guy, my brother, my blood. E no get wetin fall from sky, we ground no fit carry. We have been through a lot, and we still stand strong. If you remember, together we overcame monsters, battled the darkness, and even survived loss. But we became unbreakable, unstoppable. So guy, shake off the bad vibe. Face the world with your full chest. Because this life, forget, you and me, now we go run out.
Don't let old Naira spoil your market. Run! Go deposit for your mama wallet before January 31st, 2023. Dial *671# to open a mama wallet.
Hello viewers and welcome to the Doctor Perspective on Maxi Health, where your health comes first. And as you all know, on this segment, we give you wonderful topics and explain things you need to know. And today with me, I have Dr. Iyi Ola. Good day, Doctor.
Yeah.
So today we'll be talking on diabetes. So what is that? Because everybody's trying to take sugar, so I don't have diabetes. So what is that?
Okay, yeah, so diabetes basically mean excessive sugar in the blood. Yeah, it's what we call diabetes mellitus, but most people basically call it diabetes diabetes.
Yeah, that's the reason why people always afraid to take sugar. So
Yeah, because of the name, blood sugar. So most people think because of sugar they are taking, basically that, but there's so many other stuff that contribute to excessive blood sugar, excessive sugar in the blood. Yeah.
So what are the types of diabetes?
So we have the type that we call type 1, we have type 2, and type 2 is commonly found in adults, and type 1 basically in young adults, young people, like that. And then we also have the one that we call gestational diabetes. That's one that is found in pregnant women. When they are, so before pregnancy, they might not be pregnant, they might not have diabetes or sugar, excessive sugar, blood sugar. Basically, when they are pregnant, that is when they detect that they have excessive sugar in their blood. Yeah.
So what are the symptoms of it?
Okay, so for people that have diabetes, they tend to have excessive taste. They tend to drink water. They get tasty more frequently. They take water a lot. They urinate so much. They go to the toilet frequently to urinate. Yeah. Also, they tend to have they eat too much because their body is making use of all the glucose available. So they tend to eat more. Also, and despite the fact that they are eating more, they are losing weight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they have weight loss, they have excessive urination, they urinate frequently, they eat more, they take more water. Also, some of them tend to have maybe itching, dry skin, and the likes like that. So all these symptoms, when you notice any of these symptoms, make sure you go to the hospital for screening so that you'll be able to know if you have diabetes or not.
So what are the treatments?
Yeah, so to make a diagnosis of diabetes, some blood tests to be done. For you can how to bring your attention to the fact that diabetes can affect different organs of the body. So once this excessive sugar in the blood can affect basically every part of the body from the head to the toe. Yeah, that is why once you go to the hospital for investigation, they tend to do some blood work, but to make a diagnosis of diabetes, they will do your blood test. So there's some blood tests that they do. There is one that they can do pricking of your hands, and if the value is more than some specific a particular level, maybe on 2 occasions, they will make a diagnosis. Or maybe when you do a test, we call it glycated hemoglobin, and it's elevated more than a particular level. They make a diagnosis of diabetes. But we look at all these things, the parameters we get from the tests, the test that is being done. So for instance, if someone level is around 100, so we ask you, are you eating or not eating, well as you drink it. So all these things they matter in the test that we do. However, to make a diagnosis, do blood tests for diagnosis to be made, and so for other tests can be done to be able to ensure that complications are not affected, because like I said, diabetes basically affects different parts of the body. So they might also do some tests to be able to ensure that other body or parts of the body have not been damaged.
So what are the treatments?
Yeah, so basically for some there is diabetes, there are some drugs that they put on, and there are also some things we tell them to do, like healthy lifestyle, to eat healthy meals. They will tell you some that you should avoid high fatty food,
take more vegetables, very regularly, and avoid salt in your food because diabetic and hypertension they kind of yeah, intertwined exactly. So all these things basically will inform you. So they will tell you do these things and also take your medication. So those are the ways in which we go about it. What are the complications? Yeah, as I said, the complication of diabetes it's practically affecting parts of the body from the head to toe. So some people it can cause blindness in some people. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Wow. It can affect the heart. It can affect the kidney, cause kidney damage. It can result into when someone have injury and then the wound is not healing in time. So all these things are basically complications of diabetes.
So what can you prevention? How can we prevent diabetes?
Okay, yeah. So to prevent diabetes, either it's good to prevent a condition before the condition even starts at all. So and what are those things in which you need to do? One, you need to avoid tobacco. You need to avoid smoking. You need to avoid sedentary lifestyle. You exercise regularly. You need to ensure that you have an healthy meal. Avoid alcohol. And when you do all these things, the likelihood of having diabetes is reduced.
So, Doctor, what is your last advice for our viewers about diabetes?
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to tell everyone out there if you have the symptoms of which we mentioned earlier, make sure that you go to the doctor and get screened. If you are diabetic, make sure you start medication in time. And diabetes drug is not a drug that you just use like malaria drug and stuff. It's a drug that you use continuously so that your blood sugar will be controlled. Don't wait till you have complication until you go to the doctor. Go to the doctor now when you have these symptoms. Thank you.
So viewers, welcome Dr. Iola. Live healthy life, stay active, stay away from smoking, drinking, and all that. You will find Maxi Health continue shortly.
Join us to welcome our nutritionist telling us the food we need to take, the vegetable we need to take, and the fruits we need to take to stay healthy and stay good. Don't move from us because we'll be right back after the short break.
Hello viewers, welcome to Maxi Health, and this is you and your diet segment. My name remains Francis Odile, your nutrition consultant, and today we are live in Frank Kitchenette where we perform the magic that has to do with food. And now the thing is that when we talk about food, food is what we eat when we are hungry, but nutrition is what our body requires. How do we get the necessary vitamins and minerals in our food? They always complain about being eating right. Why are we not eating right? So the thing we are doing now with Maxi Health is that we want people to see the need to eat what they like eating in a more healthy way. Now, there's a lot of issues with cooking meals and all that. People say, don't eat that. How do you eat the right thing? So that's why we're bringing this to you. And in this segment, you'll be learning more about homemade cooking spice. And homemade cooking spice is something you can do naturally, something that is not perfect. These are things you see on a daily basis, but we overlook them and see and look for other means, just like the way we always look for means for man-made. We can actually do things ourselves. So the earlier we start understanding that doing things yourself is the best way. Cooking your food and eating it yourself is the best way because you take charge of what you eat. Because whatever goes into your mouth is going a long way. And if you're not feeling sick now, it's a matter of time you're going to fall in. So what we are just trying to say is that eating good food is very better. So no, it's very best because nobody will be telling you why are you not eating right. Now, my recipes for this homemade cooking spice are things you know already. So I'm basically going to be telling you the recipes, but not much of detail because if you want more information, you need to call the number on the screen or send us messages. We're going to reply much to you on that. But we're not going to give you so much of information so that you can save some time. Now, having this, a lot of us we all know this. We know this, sell this in the market, right? They sell this in the market. Also these. So, well, let me just, this is seed, right? This is seed. Then this is blended root ginger, which is something I just have to explain. Then this is sea salt. So this is directly from the sea fish, then dried, no process, right? Now, this is what we use for our homemade cooking spice, and this homemade cooking spice is something that once they come together, it tastes so phenomenal. We are amazed that at the end of the day, you don't even need salt, you don't even need those conventional spices or condiments you use to making your meal. At the end of the day, you are eating right. Now, first thing is that getting this crayfish from the market, you literally need to treat it well by taking out the jets in the crayfish, then put it in the pot, steam it up a little bit. Just after, we need to have that feel of crispy, like dryness in that crayfish, so that when you blend better. So you make sure that your crayfish take out all those jets in the crayfish. Then the stockfish, like we all know. So most times I prefer using the head, and sometimes I can use the skin. But why I use more of the head of stockfish? Because I want to get enough of calcium from inside, so I use fast blender to extract those calcium so that we can mix up into our spice. So now this is a local, we call it, you can use Iru, you can use Dawa, you can use Okwe, it's all local in Nigeria, so we all know this. But this is not more of what we are always used to, except we are doing continental meals. But this is coriander seed, so this coriander seed is something that will also help control some of the smell and taste whenever we are making our omelets, we're making our continental jollof rice and all that, so that you don't have the feel of crayfish and other of those fish inside. So this is ginger. Very important. You know that ginger has a lot of vitamins and minerals that can help us do so many lifestyle diseases. So this is sea salt, like I also explained. And this sea salt, we have different kind of sea salt. So this is actually, if you look at it, it's like rock. That's why they call it sea. The salt from the sea. So this is actually natural one. It does not undergo any process. So we are going to be blending them together with fish. Everything goes inside. Everything goes inside. And the truth is, this recipe has a way it goes. It is easy for you to get this together, but you'll be amazed that you might not really get this if you don't understand how it works. So for more information, if you want to learn more about what we do, call the number on the screen. You can ask your question whenever you want to ask your question. Send us messages and we'll reply and we'll tell you how we can get this done. So now, the thing is, we keep looking out for means how we can actually give people information that can help them, and that's why Maxi Health and Practitioners is bringing it to you. So you need to stay back and watch our program, because we have series of programs we're bringing out. Thank you guys for watching this program. I'll see you next time on Maxi Health. I know you're all coming to do that. Thank you.
Welcome to Health Gist, where I'm going to keep it gist. Tell you things you need to know about your health. So today is things we can do to stay healthy. If you don't know you want to stay healthy, so these are the things you need to do to stay healthy. Number one, exercise. Please and please. I know you might be lazy, but let's try as much as possible to stay active. Let's just stroll. Don't just come from work and go to your bed and sleep and the next day again, following the same routine over and over again. So let's try as much as possible to exercise our body. Then number two, water. Let's learn to take water. Let's learn to take enough water, because water helps the body. So let's learn to take water. Then number three, healthy diet. Please, let's watch what we are eating. It's not as if we take chocolate, we take this one, we take carbonated drink and all that, and not eating healthy. So healthy diet is very, very important for our health and to stay healthy. Then number four, get enough sleep. After work, 8 to 6, 8 to 7, some of us will get back, start pressing our phone till 12 or 1. And then the next day we just have little sleep, and the next day again we are awake again, 6 again, going to work. Please, let's try as much as possible to get enough sleep, because it helps the body and it makes you stay healthy. Then the last one is meditation. Meditation. I know we'll say, do we meditate in this part of the world? We do. Just like have time for yourself, sit down, meditate. There are songs that we play while meditating. If you don't want songs, that's fine. We are all stressed normally. It's normal in this kind of place. We are stressed. So let's try as much as possible to create time to meditate so our nerves can calm down. So I'm sure with all these tips, you will stay healthy and you will follow them, stay healthy and stay good. So that's how I'm taking on health gist, and we'll be right back after the short break. We've come to the end of the show, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed every bit of it, from the Ask the Doctor to the doctor perspective behind the diet, fitness corner, and health gist. And don't forget to have enough sleep, exercise, meditate, drink water, stay healthy. And don't forget to keep watching Maxi Health, same time, same station. Bye.